Next, what we need to do is validate that our zip file contains a shapefile and that that shapefile contains polygons, because we can't really create or clip by boundary using a line or points. We can only use polygons. And to aid us in this, we're going to use a new library called PyShape, and we need to install it. So I'll go to the terminal and stop Tethys with Control-C, and I'm going to type conda install, and we're going to get this from the channel conda forge, and it's called PyShape. And after working for a minute, it prompts us, tells us which packages it's going to install. I'm just going to press yes and hit enter to accept that, and it installs it. Now, anytime you install a new package, you should automatically go to your install.yaml and add it to your list of dependencies so that when you install it later, it will work. So I added PyShape here to the conda section under packages since we installed it with conda. If you require a new channel, go ahead and add the channel here. Now we're going to create a helper function to help us with finding the shapefile in the directory. Let's go open up helpers.py, and first I'll add an import it's going to require, which is OS, because we'll be dealing with paths. And we'll go down to the bottom of the page, and I'll put this function in here. And essentially what this does is you give it a directory, and it will search through that directory for a file that has an extension .shape. And once it finds it, it will return the path to that file. So this will just help us to find the shapefile in the directory. Now we'll go use that in our controllers, in our little helper, handle shapefile upload. And again, remember, we need to do this all within this with block because the files go away as soon as that's done. Okay, and here we go. We're going to use find shapefile, and I forgot to import it, so let's be sure we do that. Go to the top, and it's in helpers, find shapefile. So I'll just add it to that helpers import that we already had. And what this does is it goes in and finds the shapefile. Assuming if it didn't find it, it's going to return an error. If it does, then it's going to, again, optimistically open it up. We need to import shapefile as well. But it's going to open it up with the reader, and it's going to check if it has polygons in it. If it's not, then we're going to return an error and tell the user that we only support shapefiles with polygons. If it's not a shapefile, so somehow there's a .shapefile that's not a real shapefile or the type of file we're looking for, then we'll get a type error and we'll display this message to the user. Let me import that before I forget. Okay, and I'm just going to check on Tethys to make sure it didn't die. Oh, well, I forgot to start it up, so I'm glad I checked. So start Tethys up again. And then we'll go and we'll refresh the page. Now, to aid us in testing this, there are some files that you can find in section 6 of this tutorial. Okay, there's this USA simplified zip and points.zip. USA contains a boundary, very simplified boundary of the United States, and points contains a shapefile with just some random points in it. So that'll help us test 2 cases. And then for the third case, a shapefile that doesn't have, or sorry, a zip file that doesn't have shapefiles in it, I'm going to select some of these images, right click and select compress, and I'll just say bad zip or bad file and give it the .zip extension. So now we've got 3 cases so we can test our feedback. Let's do that now. I already refreshed the page. So let's choose first the bad file. So it is a zip file, but it doesn't contain a shapefile as the message indicates. No shapefile found in the archive provided. Okay, well let's give it one with a shapefile, but with points. Only shapefiles containing polygons are supported. Okay, that's helpful. So now I'll give it USA simplified. And it's golden. We don't get any errors. If I open this up again, we're clear.